For me, that's exactly what Breguet is, because, and I think you really have to go back and understand the spirit of Abraham Louis Breguet, because first you look at it and say, oh, okay, great watchmaker, long history,
Genius.
Napoleon as client, and yeah, geez. So all this gives you, whoa, okay, we're very traditional, we can't change anything. And then you start looking at, and you really realize that in the exposition, like the Louvre exposition we had and so on, when you see watches before Breguet and after Breguet, that the watch just looks different. What a watch is supposed to look like is, after Breguet, it's something that you have from Breguet hands, you say, it's like a watch today.
That's a watch, yeah.
Before, and that's 10, 20 years, it changed. And same in complications, tourbillon. And not to make it beautiful, purely to improve actually really the result of the watch, the performance. Most of it is images, parachute, end. And so having this spirit, and for me, keeping a tradition alive and respect the tradition means for me to keep the spirit alive. Because repeating, you die, you know? And you have to keep doing the same thing in the same spirit. That's for me when you respect your tradition. And that means innovating. That means breaking rules, changing things, with all respect to handwork, with all respect to know where you come from. As expected, I say the biggest work was really on the automatic system. That was the biggest change, to have a new system, to have the beauty of the mechanical movement, have a manual movement, and on the decoration, on the architecture and the design of the bridges, and having the comfort of the manual automatic system. So how many circles, how many times, how quick you get, you fill up your power reserve, all these were things that sure you test, but
in the
laboratory you test, you have your circles, you know exactly how many movements, but how does it react to actual wearing? Because you have your times, you have the experience, but still on something that is, because here we're really going in a new system.
Absolutely, that rotor is new.
So the simulation, does it really represent your movement? You know, it's all based on, you know, you change the weight, whatever, you have a micro rotor or not, it's known field. So you know your tests work.
Well, it just doesn't rotate as freely, is that?
It doesn't rotate as freely, it doesn't take the same, reacts the same way, because the ideal point, sure, is the center. From the weight you're able to put on the outside with a longer distance, the less energy you need, the more energy you generate to wind up your watch. And so changing this, it works, and it works perfect, but it made a big difference at the beginning that you say, how do we get that?